There are 5 postures that you must be able to hold and strengthen to age in a way where as you get older, you're going to look and you're certainly going to feel more youthful. And you're certainly going to move, and your body's functionality is going to be more like when you were a kid versus a typical old person. So I'm going to show you these 5 in detail, broken down. And all these workouts that I do, all these exercise videos that I make, a lot of that is going to be based off of these 5 postures that you need to be able to hold. It's going to build off of all of those. This is your foundation for fitness, and also it transfers 100% in just day-to-day life. How you sleep, how you move boxes around, how you sit at work, how you stand, how you walk, everything, okay? And also, for a lot of you, this is gonna help reduce chronic pain. For a lot of you, it's gonna help reduce chronic pain and sore and stiff joints as you get older. And it's going to go along, this is a fountain of youth concept, okay? Now here's my disclaimer and my note of caution. I'm giving you general information, not specific to anybody and not to undermine any healthcare professional that you might be working with. So take responsibility for your safety and do what is right for you. Okay, so with that, let me talk for one more minute because this is important, then I'm going to get right to it. So as we get older, as time passes and we don't live a healthy lifestyle that includes, good exercise, physical activity with proper form, and eating good, the whole lifestyle, then our muscles, after our mass growing years are done, I'm talking before we even get to our mid-20s, maybe early 20s, maybe even upper teens, when our mass years of growth are finished, our muscles, they start to decay. And because we're not walking around or sitting with correct posture or alignment within our skeletal system, then there's going to be muscle imbalances that create over a long period of time that create these uneven tensions against all of our joints throughout our body, our elbows, our hips, our knee joints, all of our joints. There's these muscle imbalances that happen over time that puts uneven pressures in places they're not supposed to be in our joints. And so you're going to get injured. You're going to have a moment when maybe you're walking and you have to catch yourself and move something really quick and something snaps, something tears, something rips, or let's say nothing happens, but you just, as you get older, there's no accidents, you just, your lower back starts to hurt, your knees start to hurt, and we associate that with just common aging, or normal aging, I should say, and that's not normal. It's common, sadly, but it's not normal. It's not supposed to happen. That's just a result of a daily slight error in judgment to not strengthen your body and, condition it on a daily basis. So your health is like rent, and the rent is due on a daily basis. You never really own your health, but the rent on that health is due on a daily basis. So the 5 postures, it's going to be standing. Sounds silly, but most people don't stand correctly, and there's a consequence to pay for that over time. So that's standing. It's going to be holding plank. It's going to be holding boat pose, and then squats and lunges. So let's start with standing. I'm going to back up here so you can see me, because we are on horizontal view with a mysterious background. So standing in yoga, or Eastern medicine, is known as mountain pose. In the medical community, it's called the anatomical position. So when you're standing, I'm actually going to take this off so that you can see my muscles and see correct alignment. So you can see what's exaggerated, what isn't. So when you're standing, you back up even more. Everything should be in alignment. Your shoulders stacked over your hips, stacked over your knees, stacked over your ankles. So everything is properly stacked. It puts less stress or no stress on your joints. And it makes it easier to stand for long periods of time without getting sore. Then your hands down like so, palms facing forward. So it's a supinated position. Now your shoulders should be back. Most people are standing like this, and most people are going to develop kyphosis and lordosis of the spine. Different curvatures, different muscular imbalances that lead to injuries. Some people get scoliosis. So your shoulders should be back and stacked over your hips, over your knees, and over your ankles. Your feet, about shoulder width apart, is fine. Your pelvis should be running parallel to the floor, not like this, but like this, with your core slightly engaged, just taut. You don't have to flex super hard to just stand unless we're doing a workout or something. But if you're just standing like normal, it should be taut and parallel, like so. So you're standing like this, and your head up. A lot of people get forward head tilt, especially when they're sitting and when they're standing. And you certainly see that in a lot of older people as they're walking around. They're kind of like this. Your shoulders are rounded forward, your backs are hunched, your heads are tilted forward, some more than others. You can really see it. And that is because of decay and muscular atrophy and skeletal misalignments, because they spent their entire lives not practicing these 5 poses that I'm showing you. So the head, the entire spinal column should be elongated and upright. So the side view is going to be like this. Now for a lot of people out there, you're maybe older and your muscles here are so weak, and there's certain muscles that are tight that aren't supposed to be tight. There's certain muscles that are loose that aren't supposed to be loose, and there's different imbalances along different aspects of the joints. So for a lot of you, just practicing standing in a correct mountain pose or anatomical alignment, that's going to feel like a workout for you. And for almost all of you, almost everybody in our culture, because it's common, not normal, but common, this is going to take a lot of conscious effort. And if you do this over a period of time, and as you get stronger and you do these other workouts too to develop strength and you're eating right and all that stuff, eventually it will be second nature. I don't have to think about it. When I'm sitting down, when I'm standing, when I'm walking, it's just second nature. I've been doing this for so long now, and it will be for you too. And it's worth it because your body's going to reward you as you get older, or your body's going to punish you if you don't do it. So just make the conscious effort to stand with good form, good posture, to walk with good posture, and sit with good posture, all that stuff. And it's going to go a long way towards, all this other stuff I'm going to show you too, and just feeling better, and feeling better as you get older too, for that matter, and sharply decreasing the likelihood of any injury, and that's worth it. Okay, so now that we've got standing out of the way, let's just move right into plank. Because for some of you, if you can't stand right, then plank is going to be very difficult. So standing is like the foundation of foundations. So the next one is going to be plank. Grab my yoga mat. Now when it comes to plank, even fitness experts, I almost never see anybody do plank correctly, let alone a full push-up. So I'm going to show you right now how to do a perfect plank and a perfect push-up. Put this up a little more. So with plank, you are going to keep everything tight. It's going to look like this. I'll show it first. Here's a perfect plank, okay? Now we'll go to the angle here so you can see. Perfect plank. So, when most people do plank, including fitness professionals, they are letting their back do this. That's not right. You want to scoop your abs so they're like this, protecting the lower back. Don't let that happen. Do this and hold that. Everything should be squeezed tight. Your butt, your legs, your hamstrings, your quadriceps. Draw your kneecaps up towards your hips. Like picture that so you're flexing all your muscles correctly. Your abs are scooped. Your hands, just for a standard perfect plank, about nipple line, about shoulder width, a little more than shoulder width apart. And your shoulders. This is one that especially fitness professionals get wrong. They don't come up all the way. Your shoulders should be protracted like that. Not like that. Protracted. Just like that. And your entire spine should be elongated. Your head should be, running straight with the rest of your body. So it's going to look like this. I'll show it one more time. go to an angle because I think you can see me best this way. So it's like this. Now if you want to do a push-up, you go all the way down to the floor. Most people do half-ass push-ups. So here's a full push-up. All the way down, chest scrapes but doesn't rest there. Then all the way back up, protracting your shoulder blades. And almost nobody does it. Drives me nuts, including fitness professionals. So the goal with this is to be able to hold a plank for 2 minutes. A good plank. One where your abs are engaged, all of your core is engaged, and your pelvis is scooped like so. And your shoulder blades are protracted. And everything is squeezed, everything is tight, everything is strong. So if you can only hold plank for a few seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, write that down. And then write down your goal is to hold it for 2 minutes. If you can hold a plank for 2 minutes, you are far ahead of the curve of almost everybody else out there, including a lot of fitness professionals, because they're not doing it correctly and they're certainly not going for 2 minutes. And talk about, feeling strong as you get older and more youthful as you get older. God, plank, man. That's among the most important things you could ever possibly do. So that's why I made my top 5. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next one, and that's going to be boat. So boat is a yoga pose. Let me show you a good boat. This is one that I struggle with. Of all these 5, this is the one I struggle with the most. And I'll show you why. So with boat, you can start like this with your feet on the ground and just lean back as much as you can. Put your arms in the air if you want, or to the side. Keep your back straight, don't round. Keep everything straight, everything up, chest up, shoulders back, chest up, spine elongated, head up. And then add one leg, add the other. Add the arms, fight to straighten the legs, fight to bring your legs as high as they can go. If you're down here, cool. If you're up here, even better, but fight for this. And fight to close this gap between your chest and your legs. So that's boat. You can see with me, my legs don't quite go perfectly straight. It's a pretty good boat, better than the average bear. But that's always been my personal weakness, but I still show up and I live the lifestyle, so who knows, maybe I'll be able to do a perfect boat someday. But try to hold that for a good solid minute at least, and it's going to do wonders for your core strength, your hip flexors, things that typically get weak over time or loose. So that's definitely in my top 5. The next one, the next 2, is going to be a squat and then a lunge. So let me show you the squat. For this, I do not need my mat. Okay, so for your squat, it's so cool and eerie out here. So a squat is another thing where there's common mistakes people make. Opens up maybe a likelihood of injury too, because you want to develop these muscles in the right ways around the joints. So with the squat, let's see here. Okay, so for just a standard width, there's 100 different variations of a squat, but we're going to go just a little wider than hips, feet pointed out slightly to an angle. Just do prayer hands like so. But when you come down into a squat, you want to keep your mouth as far away from your butt as possible. In other words, elongate your entire spine along with your neck, keeping your head up, chest out, shoulders back, and come down. You want to go for 90-degree knee flexion. What I mean by that is about right there is 90 degrees. Notice how everything's elongated. This is a perfect squat. You can also do, we call it potato sack with your arms down here, bring your arms up, this, whatever. But for this demonstration, right here, notice my knees are over my ankles. A lot of people will make this mistake. Don't do that. It puts unneeded stress on your knees. Keep them back like so. And if you do a full squat, you come up, shoulders stacked on top of the hips, knees, ankles. See how everything relates? And then I thrust forward with my hips. But that's for if I'm, doing a squat. If I'm just standing, maybe not thrust forward, keep everything in alignment. But for the purpose of a workout, I could even bring my arms back and really exaggerate. And then back down. It's a full range of motion, perfect squat. Knees are not trekking out over my toes. If you want to add weights with dumbbells, a lot of people will do that, or a barbell up here. All these principles still apply. So try to hold this for a good minute or two. If you can hold this for a couple of minutes, you're doing pretty good. So it's something to work up to. If you can only hold it for a few seconds at first, awesome. That gap represents opportunity for an upgrade in your personal growth. Okay, last but not least, the lunge. Okay, so with the lunge, same thing with your relationship between your mouth and your butt. Keep them as far away from each other as possible. Spine straight, shoulders back, just like from the squat. Head up, everything's elongated. You want your body, your upper body, to go straight up and down. A lot of people lean forward. Do this, straight up and down. So in a perfect lunge, you want to go for 90-degree knee flexion in front and straight leg and back. So it's sort of a runner's lunge. You want to prevent your knees from buckling this way. Let me go over here, show you different angles. One common mistake is the knees buckle in or out, usually in. Keep your knees moving in one plane of motion. Otherwise, it's unstable. You could get injured. So keep your knees moving in one plane of motion. Then everything's squared forward, the hips. So instead of this, your hips are squared forward, shoulders squared forward. Everything's elongated. Back leg is flat. Maybe you can only come down to here at first. The goal is going to be to come down to 90-degree knee flexion and a straight leg. Also, you want to be able to do this, like a regular lunge is going to be 90 degrees in front, 90 degrees in back, and then straight up and straight down. So there's a full range lunge right there. Perfect form. And then there's straight leg. Perfect form with the straight leg. So master both the straight leg as well as the bent leg and get as deep as you can into it safely and build up the strength over time. Also, like with the squat, my knee is not trekking out over my toe like that. You're doing this, back up, so you're doing this. Your knee is over your ankle. So those are the 5. So the commonalities with them is the skeletal system. Things are stacked on top of each other appropriately. The spine is elongated. Your mouth is as far away from your butt as possible. All these variables, it's all really important. And go for those timed goals too, especially with a plank. If you can hold a plank for 2 minutes, that's like a foundation for everything else, no matter what it is you're doing. Because in a plank, you're statically contracting every muscle in your body. The focus on your core muscles, but you're getting your butt, your legs, your arms, your chest, your back, your entire upper body, and you're also exercising good postural alignment. It's going to go a long way towards helping you look and feel younger as you get older. Very much so a fountain of youth thing to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this. My website is tomberkenmeyer.com, just like it's spelled here on social media, tomberkenmeyer.com. And if you'd like to be a customer or an independent representative of the company that I'm with, let me know. Or if somebody invited you here, you can let that person know. And we're all part of a team, a community of people helping people. Just like a great example in this video. This video is extremely helpful and beneficial. If you do this and you do it responsibly and safely, and you show up every day, and it's a lifestyle upgrade. So it's not just this video. This video goes to the foundation of the lifestyle upgrade with the eating right and doing the workouts, the full workouts, and everything else. And then it 100% transfers over into day-to-day life, how you walk, how you feel as you get older. Instead of doing what people commonly do, they associate mistakenly like it's just normal to grow old and feel old and have sore, rickety joints and require medications and more medications to deal with the side effects of the first round of medications. That's not normal, that's common. So don't confuse the two and just live the lifestyle. And invite other positive-minded people here with us who would like this kind of thing. We would love to have more people in our community too, the people lifting each other up and helping each other out. All right, that's all I got for you. God, I was hoping for sunshine, but this is really cool, just something different. So no complaints about this. Happy to do this for you in this atmosphere. Bye for now, everybody. Mwah.